Much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about Week of the Young Child, and we have a couple of people here to discuss that. Nickey Bolek, Services Coordinator for ESU 13. She's with the Early Development Network. And Stew Kissack is here. He's a parent that is taking advantage of some of these services that Nickey's going to talk about here. So welcome, you two. Appreciate you being here. Like we said, it's Week of the Young Child. You guys have a number of events.
Yes.
At least a couple of events going on this week maybe we ought to make people aware about, right?
Yes. So on Thursday at the Civic Center from 10 to 2, we're going to have an informational fair. There'll be lots of different people there, as well as we'll be set up. If you have any questions, please stop by. And then on Saturday at the mall, there'll be some fun activities for the kiddos, as well as some information, and that'll also be from 10 to 2.
All right. And at both places, folks can just get information on any concerns they might have about their child, right? Okay, so let's explain what the Early Childhood Development Network does. You guys are helping out kids that maybe parents have a little bit of concern about how well they're developing early on, right?
Correct. They may have a little bit of developmental delay. We work with children from birth to 3 and provide early intervention services such as speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, deaf and hard of hearing services, and an early childhood special educator. And these are all things that we provide through the state, and if their child is verified through testing, it's free, which is awesome. So they can get help, and so we work in a coaching model. And so within that coaching model, the provider will come into your home, and they will coach you on the things, and then they'll leave and want you to work through your child throughout that week with that child.
All right. The testing is absolutely free,
Correct.
Right?
Testing is free as well.
Okay. Are you guys going to do some of that at these two events you're talking about here?
I wish we could. It's very comprehensive. But if they want to contact us, we can get some stuff set up for them, and we can get information to them and kind of go from there. If you have any questions at all, whether you are unsure or sure, they can give us a call.
All right. And the number is 635-3427.
Correct.
When I would imagine if you pick these things up early, whatever it may be.
Yes.
Whether you think your kid's autistic or has any
sort of other delay. Mm-hmm.
Early is best, right?
Correct. It's the better to get the foundation started, the better off they're going to do in school and later on in life. All
right. And how do you know maybe that your kid is having some early development problems? Just you don't think they're hearing right? You don't think they...
It could be a number of things. You could be around other children and you see other children do things that your child may not be doing. You could go into your pediatric appointment and your doctor could say, hey, we've got some concerns. You as your parent could go with your own gut and say, he or she's not doing, they're not walking as much as they should be, or they're not walking yet and they're a year old or, 15 months old. Those are some things that you can kind of look for. And like I said, if you have any questions or hesitations, they can always call us at the office. Or you can look online at edn.ne.gov, which it's got some information. It's a big mouthful, but they've got some developmental information as well.
All right. We're going to talk to Mr. Kissack here and talk about the experiences he's had with ESU 13. We'll do that right after this.
Hey, Nebraska, Dave Ramsey here. When I get asked where you should keep your money, for me it's a no-brainer. Locally owned community banks like First State Bank in Scottsbluff and Gering. They offer all the bells and whistles of the big banks, but with free checking that includes free e-statements, free online banking, and no-charge First mobile banking. Free ATM transactions nationwide, and no monthly maintenance fees. First State Bank, Scottsbluff and Gering. Member FDIC.
Back on News Extra this morning, we have Nickey Bolek here, Services Coordinator for ESU 13's Early Development Network, and Stew Kissack here, a parent. We're talking about Week of the Young Child and all the early development help that ESU 13 provides to help folks that may think their child not developing quite as quickly as they should be and have maybe problems in hard of hearing, maybe physically, maybe some other issues, maybe you wonder about autism, something like that. You give these folks a call. They can test your child. The number is 635-3427. So, Stu, you have been in a situation where you've taken advantage of some of these services, right?
Absolutely. My youngest boy has a pretty comprehensive set of physical disabilities, and so working with Early Development Network, we were able to get him physical therapy, occupational therapy. We were able to do a whole battery of tests to make sure that he was where he needed to be developmentally and that he was making progress at preschool. One of the best things I think about these services is that they work with you, with your schedule, with your employment. So I didn't have to take a bunch of time off of work. There were home visits. There were daycare visits where I had my boy throughout most of the day. The providers could come to him, and so it was not. It was an incredibly comprehensive set of services at really a minimum of
inconvenience to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to put it that way, but these things really add up when you've got a child that has a few things going on top of, your normal stuff with maybe, they've got siblings you're taking care of and you've got a job or two jobs, and so it can quickly be overwhelming, but the coordinators, they're understanding, they know what's going on, they can help you. And so it's a resource. I don't know where we would be today without Early Development Network, without the coordinators and how dedicated and skilled they are.
All right, that's very good. That's an awesome support for what these guys do. When you went through the testing and so forth, you were kind of made aware just by yourselves or by your maybe child daycare.
Yeah,
center?
we had a really good daycare provider. And, they work hand in hand with them and say, this is sort of where we start looking for things. And they kind of know what to look for as well. Like Nickey said, a few kind of clues here and there to say, there's a few things here that we want to look at. And sometimes these things aren't things that you can see. My boy has cerebral palsy. And so, he uses a walker. Well, that's a pretty common thing. Yeah. You can see it pretty well. It's evident. But then there's other things that you can't see. Are they speaking sort of at the right stages and milestones? Do they have their numbers and letters kind of like they're supposed to? Mm-hmm. And it's something like that might point to something larger. Right. And that testing will tease that out and say, here's what we might be looking at, and here's what you can do, and here's some resources, and here's who you talk to, and we can send a person in for that and have them look,
Yeah.
Like I said, it's incredibly comprehensive.
Okay. All right. Very
Can't
good.
speak highly enough of it.
Thank you. Well, that's pretty good support for you guys right there, isn't
it is. We
pretty
really
good
do
testimony,
appreciate it.
I'd say.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah. So, again, the number is 635-3427.
Yep.
The testing is free and can kind of verify if anything's going on.
Yep, we can verify if anything's going on, or if anything isn't, we can tell you developmentally where they're at. Kind of thing.
All right, very good. Well, we appreciate you guys coming in.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Week of the Young Child this week, and make sure if you have any questions, give these folks a call. Obviously, with Stew's testimony, they can definitely help out. 635-3427 is the number.
Voice for news, KNEB, Scottsbluff, Gering, 960 AM, and now on 100.3 FM.